I'm kind of on their advisory council. And I don't know if did we send you any material about the one campaign in advance, or did you take a look at it?
I have seen various things about it.
Okay, so you know a little bit about it. It's essentially a consortium of about 100 of the top NGOs and humanitarian groups that do relief work, primarily in Africa, although mostly in all the developing world where there's extreme poverty or diseases of poverty.
Somewhat unfairly, I think of it as the Bono group.
Well, it's not unfairly at all, because really the charismatic glue that holds that coalition together really is a result of Bono's inspiration and keeping people together, plus Bill and Melinda Gates putting a significant amount of money into getting the thing off and running. Mm-hmm. And we've registered 2.5 million people so far into the campaign, signing the petition that we have at one.org. But I'd say a good, probably maybe half of that is an estimate, started initially with Bono doing his concert tour with U2 in the United States, because he would do at one point in the tour, he'd sing the song One and then go into a little description of what the One campaign was about and get people to text message in and join the campaign, which Mr. Oliver and I just attempted to do at USC with far less result than Bono usually had.
I'm impressed by the ability of the group to, here in South Carolina, get together some surprisingly partisan people in a nonpartisan effort.
Well, that's it, and that is the model of the organization. So you've got former Governor Hodges and Congressman Wilson together as the chair and co-chairs of the campaign.
Neither of whom is known for working across the aisle.
Right, right. But the idea is really to see, can't you figure out how to work together across the aisle when it comes to saving lives in Africa and dealing with poverty and dealing with the kind of need to change the focus of U.S. foreign policy when it comes to development assistance to really making significant headway on these diseases, because the real instigation for this campaign was figuring that there's a point that the global health experts and the development experts agree is a real moment of opportunity as far as ending poverty or eradicating malaria or doing these things are no longer just pipe dreams. They are actually really achievable goals. Simple things like bed nets for malaria, $1 ARV treatments for HIV/AIDS, the kinds of things you can do to bring kids into a public school system when they're locked out in countries that don't have schools or education for children, especially young girls, maternal and child health care needs, and a health care delivery system that could be repaired if we kind of did some of the things that we know we can do. The strange bedfellows phenomenon works at different levels because you have a lot of liberals and Democrats working together, Hollywood and anti-Hollywood, faith community, evangelical, faith community, liberal Protestant, and other denominations, and obviously the partisan crossover. We're finding that there's some spillover effect even as we talk about the global pandemics and global dimensions of poverty. We're actually getting people to pay a little more attention to what the incidence of poverty and hunger are here in our own country, which I think is uniquely important in South Carolina because we still face so many challenges here.
How much time back in South Carolina?
I get down, well, not a lot. I do two things besides visiting my mom and dad in Abbeville, which I get to go to after I see you today, so I'm going to go get a little visiting at home. But I do some work with the College of Charleston's communications department. Brian McGee down there has a communications department. Charles Bierbauer here at USC was just complaining that why are you down there at the College of Charleston?
So you know Jack Bass.
Yeah. He's quite a character. Yeah. But so I get down for that. In fact, I'll be down in Charleston next Friday and Saturday for that meeting of that council.